Welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So welcome back to another part of, I guess, kind of my mini series using up my 6x6 paper pads and my stash. So I'm using this older, That's My Boy collection from Echo Park. I happen to have the 12x12 sticker sheet as well, so it was just perfect. So I'm going to be taking one of the 6x6 papers and cutting it into 4 triangles. So I cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut those triangles in half as well. And I am going to be placing them in each of the 4 corners. So I have very few papers left of this collection. I do have some pieces left, kind of the cut aparts from a 12x12 paper. I think I must have had the whole collection, but this is kind of what I have left. So I've kind of stuck some cut aparts inside of the paper pad, and we will kind of see what we end up using. I am just going to be using this one photo of my oldest here. That blue cardstock actually is a piece of scrap. It was on my desk and matched good enough. So like I said, this is kind of like a using up the 6x6 paper pad series, but also kind of digging into my stash to try and figure out what I can use up from that as well. So I am just going to be kind of layering behind the photo with a bunch of the different papers in the paper pad. There are some, so I'm just ripping it all out. Quite honestly, I want it done. I want it over. I'm done with it. So I want to kind of use up what I have. What I end up kind of not using, I'll probably just give to my youngest to use, but I think that's only a handful of the papers. So the paper to the right happened to just be a scrap with those images on them. So I am going to use that as a layering piece as well. I thought that just kind of evened out maybe on that blue paper. So again, just trying to bring in all kinds of different papers, layers, widths, lengths, that kind of thing, just using up as much as I can. So I am going to commit to the blue paper here. And again, it is kind of a busier, I guess, layout just because I am trying to use up so many pieces of the collection and so many scraps. So I did want that kind of circular paper to come from the top to the bottom. I needed to fill in that space kind of at the bottom as well. So I am going to glue or figure out where that orange piece is going to go, and then I will line up that other paper underneath of it. Really no rhyme or reason to my layers, quite honestly. And I did realize that I kind of cut that one or move that one to the left more so than I would have liked, I guess, but I still make it work. So you can see I have quite a few of the pieces from the paper pad in there already. I mean, there's the corners and then at least 3 other patterns, and quite honestly, I don't know if that one with like the images is actually a 6x6 paper in the pad or not. I can't remember. This is so old. I probably got this like right when I first started scrapbooking. So I can't remember, but I did add another pattern to that orange paper. I just felt like the orange was a lot, so I did add that. And then I went to the sticker sheet and actually found that sticker with the hexagons and thought that would make a great layering piece actually, and added that kind of underneath the photo. And that'll be kind of a base for an embellishment cluster. I am going to use those images on that paper as part of my visual triangle. So you can kind of see the visual triangle already kind of making its way. So I'm going to use up as much as I can on the sticker sheet. So that smile sticker, that's my boy, and then that camera on the bottom. And just kind of add, I don't know, whatever would work for this photo. Again, it is just using up my stash. Obviously, I don't want to like use it all up and make it not look presentable, I guess. But I really did want to challenge myself to use as much as I could. So you can see that I am just adding to that cluster to the left. There were kind of some mini flags, so I added those underneath the that's my boy arrow, and then that bullseye. Usually I wouldn't use that, but I liked how it was circular and it would work underneath of that. And there was that circular smile to the right hand side as well. So I did end up bringing in more of my stash than just the That's My Boy stickers. So those plus marks were from the, I don't know, a Bella Boulevard collection, I believe, that sticker sheet. And then I realized, oh yeah, I have a bunch of flares from Scrap and Happy Studio and wanted to see if I could incorporate any of those into the layout. And so I kind of played around with some of those and finally decided to use the one that said Cool Kid. I do add it kind of underneath that camera, and so I will end up having to kind of add something to the left of the flare just to kind of even that out. So I go into my stash and I find an old kind of puffy sticker sheet from Close to My Heart. It happens to have some hexagons, and as I'm placing them around, I realize that the colors kind of match those hexagons at the top there. So I actually end up adding just some kind of the ones that matched color-wise, just every other. And I just felt like that added some texture to the top as well. Some dimension, I guess. Not texture, dimension by adding those. And then I just kind of scattered those throughout the layout as well. Just for some finishing pieces and some enamel dots. I think I add kind of scatter throughout the layout as well. That is one thing I'm changing up. Is I used to just do enamel dots in clusters of 3, and now I am kind of just adding them throughout the layout as well. If there's like a open space that needs some, sometimes I will do clusters of 3, but not always. And it just kind of is fun to see how your style kind of evolves. So here is what I have left of the collection after this layout, and quite honestly, there's nothing there that really sticks out like I need to have it. So it is going to all go to my son for him to use. But I hope you guys enjoyed this layout and are enjoying this series, and we will see you next time. Bye guys.